Hello, drama lovers. Welcome back to K-pop world. Some stories don't arrive with grand announcements or shining press conferences. Sometimes the biggest story comes quietly, through a short, soundless video leaked in the middle of the night. No title, no timestamp, just a blurry recording, enough to change everything. And in that video, two figures who once shook the world appeared once again. No warning, no script, only the movement of their bodies, familiar and haunting, communicating something that words could never quite express. Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo, two names once united in a masterpiece that became unforgettable. And now, they've returned, haunting the screens of fans in the most unexpected way, through a secretly leaked dance practice video. And since that moment, everything changed. At first, no one suspected the video, shared in a fan forum that night, would explode globally. An anonymous user posted a short clip with a vague caption. Look closely at the background. No logo, no watermark, just a dim studio, the beat of silent footsteps and silhouettes moving in sync. But as their faces slowly emerged, the world seemed to stop. Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo, in the same frame, dancing together, not just synchronized but united, as if time had never passed. As if every unspoken longing that had been buried deep was now finding its way back to the surface. Quiet but real. And that was the beginning of a mystery that still remains unsolved. After the Untamed, their names became inseparable. They created a phenomenon, rewrote history, and left a mark difficult to erase. But after the storm of popularity came silence. Rumors, pressure, until both seemed to walk their separate paths. But this video felt like a piece of memory being pulled back into the light. Fans immediately began investigating, analyzing each frame, comparing body postures, even studying the window reflections to confirm that it was really them. And the more they watched, the clearer it became. This wasn't a one-time rehearsal. It was too smooth, too familiar, too deep. Had they been practicing together all this time? In secret? That question echoed through the minds of everyone who watched. Not just out of curiosity, but from longing. A longing that had never truly faded. Maybe the distance we thought we saw was never real. Technically speaking, fans were stunned by how perfectly their movements matched. One commented, Yibo's choreography is notoriously fast and complex, but Zhan kept up flawlessly. That's not just skill from a day's practice. Others noticed the moves resembled routines from underground dance battles Wang Yibo had performed in the past, which raised more questions. Why haven't they shown this to the public? Then came the theories. Some believed it was for a secret project, a duet performance, or a surprise stage. Others suggested something even deeper, that they were simply protecting something they loved, away from the spotlight, away from the pressure. Just two artists choosing to move together. But the world couldn't stay silent. The hashtag dance practice Xiao Yibo skyrocketed into global trends. Old forums came back to life. Threads filled with memories were revived. Old clips resurfaced. Even fans who had long moved on returned, as if to say, we're still here. Still, not everyone celebrated. Some skeptics questioned the authenticity of the video, accusing it of being AI-generated or manipulated. Others claimed the fandom was overreacting. But one thing couldn't be denied. The emotional weight of the footage was far too powerful to be called fake. And then, just 24 hours later, the video disappeared. The original account vanished. Posts were deleted. Links broken. Even forums were shut down, citing privacy violations. But in today's world, once something is seen, it never truly disappears. Backups spread everywhere. Fan reactions were compiled into videos. Editors slowed the footage down, pairing it with old memories. But what stood out most were the fans' expressions, not just joy but tears. Because this wasn't just about a dance. It was about a connection reborn, about an unspoken bond that never faded, even if it had never been publicly acknowledged. Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo said nothing. No statement, no denial, just silence. But in that silence, fans found hope. A possibility that maybe what we thought was over had never truly ended. One fan wrote, "They don't need to explain anything. Our hearts know. Their movement speaks more honestly than words ever could. And in a world full of noise, that kind of sincerity is rare." Days passed after the leak, filled with more speculation. Fans monitored choreographers who had worked with both in the past. One dance coach was spotted in Beijing around the suspected date. Others claimed to have seen two black cars leaving the same building, only minutes apart. The deeper they looked, the more puzzle pieces surfaced. But no one could say for sure. Was this preparation for something upcoming, or just a quiet practice for themselves? And if it was just for themselves, isn't that even more beautiful? That after all the time, the fame, the chaos, they still made time to move together. Not for the world, but for each other. Not every story needs a stage. Not every bond needs a label. Sometimes love, in whatever form it takes, is more profound when it's kept in movement. In the silence between steps. In a glance not caught on camera. In a dance that was never meant to be seen. But the world saw it. And now we can only ask, is this the beginning of something greater? Or perhaps a final memory they chose to give us without saying a word? What do you think? Do you believe they've stayed close all this time? Do you think this video hints at a secret project? Or is it a silent farewell? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Because in a world full of secrets, sometimes the best answers come from those who feel them with their hearts. That's all for today's story. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you won't miss the next emotional twist from the world of K-pop and drama. We'll continue to trace every hidden step, uncover every mystery, and tell the stories whispered only between the fans. This channel exists to speak what they may never say, but what we all know has always been there. See you in the next episode, only on K-Pop World.